My name is Cynthia Wolfe, and I am a program manager in the fintech industry, as well as a university adjunct instructor. You can find my resume on LinkedIn as well as my website, drcynthiawolfe.com, where I blog and connect with the world outside of my own circle. My education and career have matured me and given me gifts of learning and success. My Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science taught me how to think and reason scientifically, which gave me a deeper appreciation for the marvelous world we live in. My Master's of Business Administration taught me the value of exploring new ideas and philosophies and thinking beyond my experience. My PhD taught me that I can achieve whatever I set my mind to do, even if it is uncomfortable or difficult. Learning is worth it. My career has evolved, and today I lead large strategic initiatives which most call the impossible projects. I have a couple of certifications that have enabled me to choose job roles that fit my personal goals. I am dedicated to mentoring and sharing my path so that others can find their way. I am committed to teaching and learning and thinking and sharing. I am inspired by others, and I try to emulate the best of the best. I want to make a difference. I want to ensure that my life has made someone else's life better. What makes me tick? It's seeing how lives are changed by knowledge and understanding. In the past few months, I've learned a lot about learning. There are many different approaches to human learning. Understanding learning theory provides a basis for identifying the best ways to share information so that we learners will identify, understand, and retain concepts. Learning theories gives us a path to explain learning and predict what will be learned, and helps us to make informed decisions about instructional design and delivery, which may include one or more of these theories. Behaviorism as applied to learning theory assumes the learner responds in some way to external or environmental stimuli, and their resulting behavior is shaped as a result of positive or negative reinforcement. Constructivism is a learning theory that asserts that each student constructs his own learning and knowledge versus passively taking in information. As learners experience their world and reflect upon those experiences, they build knowledge and incorporate new information in their pre-existing knowledge. Cognitivism focuses on what is taking place in the mind as learning occurs. Cognitive refers to the collaboration of thinking, knowing, remembering, understanding, and problem solving. Knowledge is defined as mental construction within the environment, and learning is changing structures and schemata. Learners are active in learning, with their minds functioning as if they were computers, with inputs, processes, and outputs. Andragogy is the term applied to adult learning. This term was first used in 1833 by Alexander Knapp, but it wasn't widely used until the second half of the 20th century, when popularized by Malcolm Knowles, who wrote about the conceptual basis for educating adults. Knowles observed that adults learn very differently from the way children learn, and this learning is often informal, self-directed, intrinsically motivated, and often on a need-to-know basis. My personal learning philosophy reflects how I think about learning. Learning is owned by the learner. The beauty of learning is that it is truly a voluntary process. We decide what direction our path of learning will take. We can go straight, detour, take a fork in the road, or even turn back. As an instructor, I must become as a student and discover personal learning motivation in order to encourage others to do the same. Learning one thing makes me thirsty to learn more. Even topics that on the surface do not seem to interest me become like the layers of an onion, because as I peel them back, I always find something that keeps me looking for more. It's like a hole that I just keep digging. Capturing new knowledge just seems to pull me in deeper and deeper. Learners may need guides into the unknown. As a learner, I may need a guide or a chaperone, or an encourager or a champion or a helper or an advocate. I may need a book or a website or an article or a blog post or a course. These help me to narrow and direct my thoughts, allowing my natural curiosity to direct my learning. My best learning has come from something that I've read that's piqued my interest to know more. The most influential educators in my life have been those who have challenged and encouraged me, then widely stepped back to allow my personal discovery. Learning is progressive. There is no stopping the learning process. We are learning something every moment of every day. In education, we talk about scaffolding, which refers to a variety of instructional techniques used to move students progressively towards stronger understanding and ultimately greater interdependence and ownership of the learning process. Over the years, I've collected some quotes that speak to me about my learning experience. I share them here to give you some insight into my inspiration for lifelong learning. Education, therefore, is a process of living and not a preparation for future living. Who dares to teach must never cease to learn. Education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. Thank you for taking a few minutes with me as I shared a little about my experience, my education, and my learning philosophy. You've heard a little about what motivates me and what inspires me, and I hope that this has inspired you to continue on your learning path.